Evil Muffin 01 asked me, are there beta readers for comics? And the short answer is yes. Getting a beta reader for your comic is a great idea. So if you don't know what a beta reader is, it's someone who will read through your manuscript or your book and give you feedback on it before you start the publishing process. It's usually friends or volunteers who will do it for you, and it's a really easy way to get feedback before the manuscript is ready for an editor to tear it apart. So it's best to approach like a beta reader after you've done like the second draft of a manuscript. I'm talking about novels here, but the same principles work for comic scripts. Right, so beta readers are good once you have like a second draft down or your story's really solid. If you have someone reading your stuff kind of as you write it, or like during your first draft, that's usually an alpha reader. And their main job is to just like encourage you to keep going, and they'd be a good person to spitball ideas off of. But a beta reader is there to read through your stuff and find like plot holes, and tell you if your plot and characters make sense, and they're good to gauge the emotional beats of your story and to make sure that those beats are hitting the right response from your reader. Right, so beta readers are more for like the content of your story more than like grammar and spelling. So like in books, a lot of the same stuff carries over to comics. The problem, though, with giving someone your comic script to read is it might be hard for them to parse through it and understand it if they're not used to reading comic scripts. Bones has run into this problem where he'll hand someone a comic script and they'll go like, oh, I just can't imagine what's going on. Because they're used to like reading a novel where there's lots of like description and the media is built around prose rather than like visuals. So if you are giving someone your comic script, it might help to give them some visual aids, so like your storyboard or your thumbnail sketches, to help them understand kind of like what's going on visually. It might also be better to like give your comic script over to other comic writers or artists, because they'll understand the formatting and the writing that goes into a comic script. Then again, it is good to have beta readers from all sorts of backgrounds because you're gauging how like a regular audience member will read your comic. You know, comics aren't just for other comic writers and comic artists. They're for people who just like comics and who like to read. So you want to get like a good idea of how your story resonates with the people who will already be reading your comic. Another problem, I guess, with finding beta readers for your webcomic is a lot of the time you will be writing your comic as you're posting it. I think that's just part of the nature of webcomics because they're so long, they can take years to complete. So in that case, it might be a good idea to continually show people like, and by people I mean like beta readers, trusted people, you know, your critique circle, your friend circle, whatever. Show them like a synopsis of plot points or your outline. Talk to them, gauge kind of how they feel about it, or to write a big buffer of your script so that you have lots of script to get to like before you're actually drawing it and posting it, so that someone can read ahead and be like, okay, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. But yeah, having a beta reader for your comic is a great idea. It's good to get multiple eyes on your comic, especially in the early stages, like when you're writing or storyboarding. They'll find all the plot holes. They'll tell you if your main character's boring. They'll tell you if something doesn't make sense, like writing-wise or visually. So it's great to get that feedback early on. I hope that answers your question. Bones and I kind of use each other as like beta readers for our work. That's why it's really great to have like a partner or a creative partner that you're working with, because I can show my sketches to Bones and he'll be like, oh, that looks weird, and I can read the script he's writing and go like, I didn't understand this didn't make sense, before these pages go out for anyone to see. So yeah, like I said, it's great to have an extra pair of eyes on it. Alrighty, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a question or if you'd like to suggest a video topic, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!